is this mudra?
I don't know.
So you think I should decode it?
Yeah, please do.
This is air element and this is
Okay.
fire element. Point your hands down towards the air element and the fire element is ignited. You're ambitious, but you're not just ambitious. You're ambitious with complete utilization of your time. So I'm going to do a little more fun with your book here. Really like this chapter of intimacy and deep conversations. You're wearing a diamond, that also a princess cut. You're a very selective listener.
Yeah, that is me.
Which was the last tattoo you did?
This alien over here.
So at this point of time, when you did this in your early 20s, was the time when you were exploring spirituality but had no way to understand it in a way. You wanted something, but there was no clarity. There was an alien sitting on a mushroom, which means there was a complete connection with nature. So there were many options, but for you, the survival and stability was the basic thing that you wanted out of life.
How does it relate so much? Because it's like...
Hello everyone, on this nice new episode on Janeman, today we are going to know mind of somebody who can change your lifestyle, your fitness regime, your body structure and your weight too. So we have with us none other than Luke Coutinho. Thank you so much for sparing time and being here with us, around us. And I love the way you're sitting. It's like you're sitting in a posture and a mudra together. That's how you usually sit, Luke?
Yeah, and podcasts, interviews and...
Like this?
Usually, yeah. That's what I'm comfortable with.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. So when I look at you, the way you're sitting, it's like, you know, like a statue. It's like you're there. So you always tell people to sit in a certain posture or always keep their body straight, and how does it affect?
I don't think it's about being straight. I think it's what works for you, because I think with today's, sittings become so much that people's postures have changed because of that. So we got to remind ourselves to maintain a posture wherever we sit. But sometimes when you're relaxing, I wouldn't really be in such a rigid kind of a posture.
How do you
I would
sit
be
when
more
you're relaxed?
I would possibly be, not with a backrest or something.
You're still
But-
straight.
Yeah, I think posture is important because it
So when
connects
was
with
the
our
last
breath.
time you sat like this?
Oh, when I'm watching TV or something
Yeah?
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
On a long flight as well sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So how did it all start? You always wanted to do things in wellness, wanted to do this. What made you do this?
No, it didn't start this way. I'm in my hometown, Goa. I studied in Goa. I did my hotel management. And it's during my hotel management, I was introduced to a subject on nutrition and food science. And that's when I found an interest on what food could do for the human body. So I studied that further, but I didn't move into that line. I decided to go to Dubai, Qatar, London, come back to Bombay, join IBM for 10 years. And then in between those 10 years, that's when I started to look at the upper management, people falling sick, people having access to chefs and trainers, but yet their lifestyles were changing. So I had a mentor at Yale and I flew down to meet him and I said, I'm looking at changing my career. I want to get back into something with nutrition and wellness. And that's when he introduced me to the subject of lifestyle medicine. And he said, Luke, you got to find your space. You can have medicine, you can have nutrition. And the reason most people are sick today is because of lifestyle. So which gap do you want to fill? I think the lifestyle gap, intrigued me more. And because you could look at medicine treating the symptoms, great. You could look at nutrition working in silos that, hey, eat this food for this particular problem. But what fascinated me was there's a root cause for every problem, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual. And I liked the idea of finding that root cause and then using nutrition where I have to. Doctors would use medicine where they have to, and just putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Because I think at that point in my life, I figured there's no one way. I think we live in a world where randomness is actually a very powerful thing to know about. And when you put these pieces of the puzzle together, I think you realize that every human body is individually different. And that's what intrigued me.
So there's nothing generic in food and lifestyle that you'll suggest to people?
No, absolutely not, because everyone's different.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
somebody is going through depression, are there common 3 practices you'll tell them to follow, or?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing, get off social media, stop watching the news. Okay, that'll be a commonality. And if they say, no, I can't do that, then filter out. We call it an information diet. What are you watching? What are you filling your mind with? Because mostly people going through depression or people going through different emotions are usually following content that doesn't serve them. So that's one. 2 is you would look at their gut, because there's a commonality of everyone who's going through depression, they would have poor gut health. And it can work 2 ways. You can also be You can actually be fine and your gut could be fine, but because you're going through depression, you can start to have gut problems. Or you can have gut problems and have symptoms of depression. Clinical depression can be very different because that involves imbalances in your neurotransmitters and chemicals. And the third would be sleep. These are fundamental. So there are many commonalities, but it would be wrong to say if you have a kiwi or if you have an amla, your depression can get better. And you can't just use a food like that, because food works very synergistically with health and lifestyle.
And you know, I was also running through your profile, and I was very intrigued to know that which Ayurveda always believes in, you know, food and lifestyle to be the core reason of wellness and illness both. So you've always talked about it, and you've also healed. People have healed themselves because you believe that nobody can heal you, only you can heal yourself. And you've helped people to heal their cancer. How did it happen?
So it's always an integrative approach. We have to understand that cancer is a disease that comes with fear. And at the same time, that fear only puts us on what medicines are available, what chemos are available, what foods are available, or what everyone is doing. Most people's fears are caused because of what people say in society. So, for example, when you heal a cancer, you don't really heal it. It's your body that's put it into remission. It's your immune system. So any patient who's in remission, any patient who no longer has cancer, is because the immune system has gotten smart enough to make sure that cancer cells don't abnormally continue to grow, which is what happens in cancer. So there is no magic diet plan, and there is no magic chemo as well, because you can have the same amount of people, same stage of cancer, going through the same medical treatment, and all of them can have different outcomes. So when you go deeper into it, the first question when someone has a cancer is, why did the immune system fail? It doesn't matter whether it's a sarcoma, it doesn't matter whether it's a brain tumor, it doesn't matter what stage of the cancer it is. That's important information for the oncologist to decide what treatment you need. But when you're looking at it holistically, what made the immune system fail? In 5 to 6%, it's a very strong gene. But the balanced 95% are all lifestyle or hormonally driven cancers. So then you start looking at sleep, because sleep's directly connected to the immune system. You start looking at emotions, because chronic stress is directly related to a weak immune system. Then you start looking at food. Then you start looking at movement. Then you start looking at relationships. You start looking at people's belief systems. And then you start to put everything together, let the doctors do what they do, we do what we have to do, and that's what we mean. Everything is together. Interconnected.
Yes, always.
All sick care today is sick because people have broken it into fragments. That I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that, it's only this that can work. And that's why healthcare has become sick care. But it'll always be. Like we have simple cases of people with lung cancer in Delhi, pollution. They've shifted to Goa, and they are way, way better. They start to get better. Their doctors actually tell them now, don't come back to Delhi, because you also need the right environment to heal. So when you put all of these things together, it makes medicine alone or nutrition alone look very weak. It has to be everything together, including the patient doing their work. What are they doing internally to change their belief systems, have faith, let go, forgive, whatever it is. There's a lot of small things that come into place into healing a cancer. I don't really like saying it's healing because it's more of a remission. It's just that the immune system has stopped allowing cancer cells to become a cancer that can be caught on a PET scan. So that's how it is.
And when we talk about weight loss, do you also work on that a lot? Because that's the usual thing people want, that I want to be lean, I want to be fit, I want to lose some kilos. So what are the 5 tips you want to give to somebody where they don't have to go on an extensive diet and yet they can lose weight and become fitter?
So firstly, people are chasing the wrong goal. It's never weight loss.
It's
first of all, it's in short, it's fat. How do I get my body to start burning fat, which is stored in my body? Weight loss, people are losing water, people are losing muscle, people are losing bone density, and they're all happy because the fat diets do that to you, and then they start to realize that, hey, it's not fat that I've lost, and they start to put it all back on. People are chasing the wrong goal. The goal is never weight loss or fat loss. The goal is, how do I get healthier? The very fact that you can't lose weight or burn fat means you have some unhealthy habits or some hormonal imbalances. So the idea is we train people, because everything starts in the mind. If you're chasing weight loss, fat loss, it starts to get frustrating after a while, because then it only requires discipline. People look at it as only, I shouldn't eat this, I shouldn't eat that, I shouldn't miss my workout. But when people decide, hey, let me start getting healthier, fat loss becomes a byproduct. So then you can choose which exercises you need to do, what kind of foods you need to eat. So today in India, it's very different. Most people know what they need to do. But most people don't know that their weight loss or their fat loss is not happening because they're hormonally imbalanced. So when you're hormonally imbalanced, food plays the smallest role. What plays the largest role is getting your emotions in place, getting your sleep in place. Once these two are in place, then what you crave for starts to change. So people are always losing the battle. I can't eat my favorite foods. I can't have a chocolate. I can't have. They'll use willpower for a while, and then willpower fails on you. But when you start to hormonally change, look at your gut bacteria. Why am I getting cravings of sugar? Why am I constantly feeling hungry? Why do I only crave carbohydrates? So when you start playing with the gut.
One by one.
Yeah.
Why do people have sugar cravings, and what can they do about it?
So people have sugar cravings because they're feeding sugar to bacteria in their gut that constantly requires more of the food that you feed it. So when you look at gut bacteria, you have good bacteria and you have bad bacteria. We need both of them. But the problem is when the bad bacteria grows more than the good bacteria. So it's a living organism, it's hungry. What does it crave for when it wants to eat? Carbs and sugar.
So when they have sugar craving, what should they have?
When they have sugar cravings, they have to break the sugar cravings by not feeding it sugar.
And then not have even a fruit at that point of time?
No, they can have fruit. Fruit sugar and refined sugar is very different.
Different, right.
Absolutely
So
different.
if they want to have a chocolate, they can settle with a mango.
Yeah, but you don't have to be that, you really don't have to be that strict either. Because the whole point, again, it comes down to your mindset. If I have a piece of chocolate and I'm working out regularly, a piece of chocolate is not going to impact anything that I do. Secondly, the reason is not just your gut bacteria. Most people are eating their emotions. When they're angry, they eat sugar. When they're sad, they eat sugar. They're bored, they eat sugar. So some things are emotional. So then no matter how much, if you don't work with the emotions, you're going to continue craving sugar.
How do you work with the emotions?
It's different. It depends on what the emotions are.
Like, so suppose if somebody gets sad on little things, sadness is the deepest emotion they have. A lot of people have guilt, is the deepest emotion they have. So what different exercises and things they can do to take care of sadness and guilt?
See, I think the first thing is there's nothing wrong with sadness and there's nothing wrong with guilt. What's wrong is that people feed it too much. They go on and on. Like if you have a sad thought right now, you'll be sad. But if I ask you to be angry, can you be angry? You can't. You have to have an angry thought. Now, if you're having a sad thought and you keep feeding it and playing it over and over and over in your mind, which is why every spiritual part, every religious part, and even psychology teaches us that if there's a negative thought, be okay with it. I'm sad, but now what action am I taking to change that thought, to move away from that thought? So we keep feeding it. It's like, I'll give you a classic example of the Air India crash. Okay, everyone got affected with that, but now the media has kept playing more and more crashes, more and more defects, and you see people are just thinking the same thought and their fears are building more and more and more and more. If the media didn't cover that story after it happened, by now everyone will be focused on a different story. So at the end of the day, all of us have to understand that we have to learn when to stop the thought. Now, it's not an easy thing to stop the thought. It happens with practice. So that's where awareness and mindfulness comes in. I need to be aware. How am I feeling right now? Sad? Okay, what am I thinking? Okay, and then you have to start literally breaking that. Is this thought serving me or not? Now, if you're going through grief, obviously you want to go through it. You want to stop these thoughts. You know, when these negative emotions start to get loose, they start to build illusions and stories that are not even true anymore. The past comes in, the future comes in, and then there's this whole emotional confusion.
The meditation and mindfulness is about now, and if you're in now, then there's no problem.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing to look back and there's nothing to look forward.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. What kind of meditations do you practice?
I just focus on my breath. And for me, meditation is a walk in nature, because that's when I'm immersed. I don't really do meditations that are too long, because that doesn't work for me. And I like to meditate on my breath. That works the best for me, because that's what keeps me in the present moment. So I want to have a reminder each time in my meditation that the next breath is coming, the next breath is coming. And that's what works for me. Sometimes it's just silence as well.
And do you write? Do you believe in affirmations? Do you believe in visualizations? I was going through your book, and there's this whole chapter about why visualizations don't work for certain people. What do you say about visualizations?
Visualization has to work, because anything that's ever been built was visualized. Whether it's the mic that we're wearing, it first had to be in someone's mind, imagined, before it became the product. So visualization has to work. But I think it doesn't work for people.
What is the difference between visualization and imagination, Luke?
It's the same thing, but visualization, you add a charge to it with an emotion. So visualization doesn't work for a lot of people because they visualize, but they don't add the emotional charge to it, or they visualize and they want something, but they don't feel deserving of it. They want something, but they don't feel deserving of it. Finally, visualization is nothing but an energy. They're like little intentions that you constantly put, and you start to believe and live like it may happen, it can happen. That's the energy charge. So if I want to visualize a great body, but I feel like, but I'll never have that. There are better people. There are better people all around. That's not visualization anymore. That's a thought that you have that has no emotional charge, no belief, and no faith. So I believe visualization is extremely, extremely powerful. I mean, our top surgeons across the world before a complicated surgery will sit down and they say, hey, Luke, we've visualized the surgery happening in our minds before we get into the operating theater. Athletes do it as well before their game. So visualization is like literally trying to get the outcome you want in your imagination, and then the physical part takes over as you actually move into that.
So then in that case, I want to ask you that does destiny play a role, or it's just your manifestation?
I think faith is real. Destiny is real. We can't control that. So I'm a huge believer in fate. Anything can happen anytime. But the point is, most people are stressing about that. So when they come and say that, Luke, I got cancer. What if I die? What if I say, what if you don't? We don't know what your destiny is. If you are destined to die, you will die. But we don't know that. We don't understand that. So let it be there. Let it be there. And let's focus on what actions that we can take. Because we don't know what can happen at any given point. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but at the same time, we can't be lost in that fear. Is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? What will happen? And then people start building illusions again, and it happened to that person, so it can happen to me, and then they start absorbing the wrong content that actually derails them emotionally. So what we don't understand, we're not meant as human beings to understand everything in life.
That's true, and I always tell people, but when I was learning the art of manifestation, I mean, nobody can learn it, but when you learn the process of what to do, I believed in law of attraction a lot. That's how I began. But at one point of time, when being an astrologer, you see things, from a bird's view perspective also, from a notch above, and you say, and then you look at it and then you realize that certain people are doing things that they were always meant to do. And they had this whole idea that they wanted to do this. They could have wanted anything. Like MS Dhoni wanted to play football and he ended up on a cricket ground. So where you feel that, oh, it was meant to be like that. His horoscope or his chart was meant to be stable at one place. And he did amazing as a captain, like stable and thinking, or a wicket keeper, stable and watching, but not running around like a footballer. And then I realized that it is actually law of surrendering that's working. We manifest and want to manifest things that our destiny wants to bring it to us. And you sometimes don't understand the loop, that it's me who's getting what I want, or I always had to get it and I'm just wanting it.
I absolutely believe what you say, because I think the next thing that we've noticed where people come and say, Luke, nothing worked, visualization, manifestation, because there's a lack of surrender. They're trying to control the outcome that they want. I also had a person who was visualizing abundance, but for him abundance was a lot of money. And one day he came back and he said that, Luke, I actually looked around and my abundance, my kids, they have great health, my business, the moments that I have with my partner and all of that. And he said that abundance comes in different ways. But to someone who fixed themselves on a particular goal and they're trying to control, it should come in that way, it should come in that way. I think that's when they have the lack of surrender, and visualization is not complete without surrender.
Yeah. So I completely resonate with what you say, that sometimes we want it, but we don't realize that it is meant to be. We are just adding more fuel to it. The car is going to go there. And with fuel, we are just going to add the speed and accelerate it. But it's happening. It's already happening. It's not that you do anything to digest the food. You just sit in a certain posture, eat at the right time, and the process is happening. It can get delayed. It can create problems, but eventually it will happen. I mean, you can't stop it. So that's the beauty. But I'm so why this? What is this mudra?
I don't know. I just sit naturally in it. I don't
like
even know what it is. But yeah, mostly it's just the way my fingers naturally come together.
But do you realize why this? I mean, people could have just sat like this, but why do you do that?
I really have not thought about it. I'm just comfortable in this.
So you think I should decode it?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So this is air element and this is fire element. Air and fire, right? So you point your hands down towards the air element. I mean, you point them down and the fire element is ignited. So this is the extreme. You're ambitious, but you're not just ambitious. You're ambitious with complete utilization of your time. Somebody can be ambitious to reach but you like it without wasting time and energy. You want to reach there. So you will meet people and you'll say, this one is useful, this one is not serving the purpose. Remove.
Yeah, that is me.
Neti.
Absolutely
remove. So this, which you are comfortable in, is your own subconscious pattern reading, which brings it into a fire elementation. This is fire,
Okay.
and you're igniting it with more air. What does fire do? It cuts off everything and brings it to the core. Purpose kya hai? Why should I meet this person? What is the purpose behind it? What will happen? What will I get out of it? If not, remove it. I don't want to waste that 2 hours and get into it. It's like neti, remove till you reach the core. So that's the core.
If my team is watching it, thank you for answering. They'll understand me better now. So.
And now, next thing, I just enjoy my work, so I'm going to play up a little bit with you.
Sure.
Which was the last tattoo you did?
The last one would probably be this alien over here. Yeah, I think so. That would be the last one, sure.
The whole thing?
No. They're just done in parts, actually.
When was this done?
This was done probably in
Early
2000. No. These were done probably at 2021. Yeah.
So at this point of time, when you did this in your early 20s, was the time when you were exploring spirituality but had no way to understand it in a way. You wanted something, but there was no clarity. This is an alien sitting on a mushroom, which means there was a complete connection with nature, connection with food, connection with spirituality. You've created a full moon here with complete clouds, but there is a lot of thinking, there's a lot of analyzing with no clarity because the hands are folding. So there were many options, but for you the survival and stability was the basic thing that you wanted out of life. And when this happened, which is 10 years ago, this thing transformed into this part. It's open, it has a lot of colorful structure, it has stars, which means destiny is supporting. It had little planets and disk also, which also meant that you believe that whenever you need guidance in life, sometimes you meet patients which you don't know, or that's not a case that you've, catered earlier, or that's the first time of its kind. Something comes within you more like a gut and like an intuition which answers. You don't know how it will fall into place, but it just sets well. There's something over and above you which helps you to guide people. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. In fact, my whole team knows it. In fact, a lot of the doctors who work with us, that in between a consult or when we're trying to find something, I suddenly feel like, hey, this is an instinct, this is fine, this is
breakthrough.
It. And it happens.
Yeah.
And it happens. I know it's come from the top because I don't have that level of qualification to reach what that answer would be.
So tattoos are the quickest way of manifestation.
Oh, wow.
Because what you're writing in a diary, say 15 minutes in a day, or looking at something up there in your bedroom, 20 minutes in a day, it's there 24/7. You've got it imprinted here, and whether you want it or you don't want it, it is going to get manifested.
Oh, wow.
So this is what you did with your subconscious mind, because this is your left hand. Now we're going to read that right hand.
These are all abstract designs.
Yeah,
so
because this is your professional side. You don't like to show the kind of person you are at work and the kind of person you are at home or within yourself. Inside, that's you who believes in surrender, who believes in nature, divinity, universal power, not God, but there is something over and above which is always transpiring to help us and align us. There's no particular God that you look at, but the complete whole universe is like a energy. It's like divinity for you. But here, in your professional life, it's like blades and cuts, and there's a lot of sharpness in it. So you hate when your team doesn't respond well to your clients at the earliest. Mm-hmm. For you, if you've received a message, 15 minutes, give a message back and cut it. You don't like delays. You don't like people, even when a client comes and talks to you in a longer story that this happened, and you're like, okay, I heard you, now you hear me out. You like to cut the crap, It's like remove the bullshit, let's come to the point and work towards the solution of it. And what's written out there?
Well, that's in French. It's just something from Shakespeare. I forgot the meaning of it. So
I
got it done some good. Yeah, it's something about the magnetism of love and how it's just an energy and how human beings have given it different, meanings to suffice what they actually lack and stuff like that. It's just an energy.
Your daughter has been very lucky for you. After her birth, you've only grown in life.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, which year you started working, I have no clue. But it's a deeper connection with your daughter's birth and your progress in life. She's been, some kids are born with a star where they receive everything in life without asking. She's one of them. Mm-hmm. If she wants 1 pair of shoes, you'll get 5 pair of shoes. so that energy of her receiving is what is making you work. Every time you'll create something, your whole point is that what can I do to create a comfort for her where she doesn't have to work for money. She just has to work for what she wants to work, and I create a comfortable system for her to enjoy and let her do what she wants to do.
Wow.
So, a liberating father.
Wow.
So, I'm sorry, I just get...
No, that's fine. That is very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there's one other one.
Oh, this is an alien again.
Yeah, it's all alien. And then you have this a different symbolic number.
Yeah, so this is in Thai, it's Area 51. So the whole place where they believe they have aliens and stuff like that. So that's just a word over there.
And do you also believe in the concept of supernatural powers?
I do.
And have you experienced one also? Sitting closer to the water once?
Not in the water, but in a very, very old cottage, a 100-year-old cottage in Bandra. Yeah, I did experience. It was pleasant.
What was it?
It was just an energy that someone was there. I've also been in a place in Matunga, and we were meeting these people, and we're just sitting, and I see a shadow walk from one room to another through the wall, and I actually moved to the next room and the next room to see it. And then I'm intrigued. It's broad daylight. I know what I've seen. And I speak to them, and they say, oh, this used to be an old hospital, which is now converted into a residential kind of a thing. And but every energy I've always felt has never been the scary ones that people talk about, the evil ones. No, they've been ones I want to explore more.
Yeah, because if you are not on the frequency of fear, you will never have anything come up to you that'll come up as fear. It's like a lot of people die, like the crash happened, right? Some of them wanted to go on a prom, somebody wanted to go on graduation, somebody wanted to go on a business meeting. Now suddenly they see that the body is no more. And in Hindu system, they burn the body because then the soul doesn't try to get back to the body. Like in Muslims and in Christians, you bury the body.
Yeah.
So then the body tries till the decay happens, the soul tries to get inside the body again and again, because the acceptance is very, very difficult. You just don't accept it, and then till you don't accept it, you don't move on. Just like we do it here, it happens with us there. Wow. So in Hindus, they say burn. Let them accept, there's no choice. 13 days out and out, flown in the river, not even ashes left. Now what will you do? So the system runs around that it's time to go, accept, there's no other way. They'll call you back. You can, wherever you are, some fragments of you can come back over in the Shraddh and Pitra Paksh and see what they're doing around, but that's also a hallucination. Right now you go, find somewhere else. But in Christians and in Muslims, which is also a beautiful religion and the understanding, the soul again and again tries till the whole decay happens. Hence, when you go to a graveyard, it's a very different, strong energy you feel. It's like overpowering, At night, you need to really be in a very, very strong position to cross that. But that doesn't happen in the Shamshan Ghats or the places where Hindus are burned, because it's all gone. It's clear. It's again a ground. Fresh new stuff will come, thrown off, then fresh new stuff will come. So, coming back to it, that when we are at a frequency where you talk about no fear, eliminate negativity, clear it up. So you'll always have experiences of the frequency of souls which are positive and helpful around. But people who are looking for opportunities to be fearful, because that's their fuel and you can't change it no matter what you explain it to them, because that's how they operate, fear, then they attract situations and things, because the frequencies want to serve it to them, and they also need an audience. They say, all right, you're my audience, here I come. So you will always have these beautiful experiences because of the alien energy you've manifested on your left hand, where you will always have these beautiful experiences to tell you that there is so much over and above us. There's so much of mystery, and that doesn't need to be resolved. It just needs to be appreciated.
True.
Appreciated and, just submerged in at that moment of time, and that's what you've beautifully done around. So
thanks for explaining that.
I have to play a small game with you.
Okay.
And we're going to decode more of you, you as a person. And let's see what kind of Luke do we bring in out from this, okay? So I want you to just imagine a few things, and whatever you imagine, just share it out with me, just speak it out with me. So I want you to see, let's go to a castle, okay? I want you to see a door. What kind of door do you see?
It's a big wooden door with lots of carvings on.
Are there any plants around on it or something?
It's just wood.
Yeah. And is it open or is it closed?
It's closed.
Would you like to open it? Is it
Yeah.
going to be hard to open or a soft push?
I think it's a hard push.
Okay. So let's do a hard push, put all your energy, let's get inside the castle. When you get inside the castle, the moment you enter, what do you see? Do you see a library? Do you see a big banquet, chandeliers? Do you see a staircase? Do you see a corridor with doors? What do you see in this hallway?
I see a huge pot with like a plant growing, and there's a skylight above it, and there's just a whole open kind of a courtyard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's cross the courtyard and move forward, right? And we move forward, we see a staircase. What kind of staircase do you see?
It's a spiral staircase.
And would you like to walk up?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Is it comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the spiral staircase and go up. And as you go up, you enter a room. And across the room, you see a window which you want to go and see what can I see behind. What is the size of the window?
It's a large window. It's like a curved window. It's very large.
And what do you see through the window?
I just see water. It's like
Yeah.
a sea. Yeah.
Yeah. And how's the sea? It's like calm.
It's calm.
Like,
Yeah.
It's calm. Okay, so let's step down and let's see what's at the rear part of the castle. So do you see a door again?
So I've come back down the steps, right? Yeah, I see a door.
And what kind of door it is again?
It's a big iron door. It's like, yeah.
Yeah? You would like to open it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's go. What do you see?
There's like a big mud kind of a road, and there are cows and horses, and there's actually like old artillery over there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as we went to the castle and you saw this big wooden door, so in life when you started, everything for you was like shut. There was this big thing that you wanted to do, and there's a lot that you're carrying from your past and you know about it. There's so much of purpose that you have in this life to achieve and do, that it was always there, but there was no other way. It was difficult for you to get into this field and create a niche for yourself, but you like hard push, and you did your hard push. When you did your hard push, there was this whole energy over and above which just came to help you. God knows from where the clients came, the effect came, the magic happened. It was all hit and trial experiment for you that worked out. Because this open sky and this beautiful big pot and the plant started growing, that is you. So something which just helped you grow, like a guidance, and you guided and you received guidance and you guided, and things just started growing. And as we went backwards, we saw this staircase which shows what kind of emotion you have. You're a hardcore romantic person. For you, romance is a very, very deep emotion for you. That touch is very important in life. You like to be touched. That's one of the expression you have in life of touch. That's what you look forward. It's your love language. When we went up, we saw a big curved window. That's where you see your life, that what kind of opportunities you have in life right now. You see it big, you see it huge, you see it immense, and you still are very calm seeing the opportunity, where you just don't want to jump into it, but you want to take it step by step with calmness and absorb it to the fullest. As we went to the rear part of it, which means what lies in the future for you, what is your probable future you want for yourself. You want an old system of living and lifestyle to be restructured, where people are living with animals in a much more quieter space, like the old way of living, coming, staying at a place, healing themselves and getting back to the old ways of being. It's like a different, old, authentic version of these wellness centers that they have is what you want to create for the world to experience. So this little tiny thing,
How do you I mean, I know you can't explain that, but how does this happen? Like, how do you see this? How does it relate so much? Because it's like I would say 99% accurate what you just said.
Yeah, because
the 1% is more on the romantic part. I know I am, but I don't know how. I think the energies of the heart have always confused me.
Because so for you, romance is very, very mental stimulation. You saw the wooden staircase, not just the spiral one. You saw a lot of wood also around. So for you, mental stimulation is very important. Unless you're not mentally stimulated by somebody, until somebody has not contribution to give it to you on daily basis, you can't be romantically energized by the person. That's very difficult for a woman to keep you on a chase. क्योंकि रोज क्या नया देगी वो, you know? But you want that newness, that excitement, mental, emotional and physical each day. So it's very difficult for a woman to keep up to your pace. And you don't like to cheat around, you don't like to be dishonest, you don't like to, you know, cross a line and do things which makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't like to be pinpointed and say this is what you've not done correct. So that there is a lot of restriction and a lot of desire. Hence there are certain chapters in your life which you folded the book and say side rakh do, this is not going to work for me. It's one of those chapters.
Wow.
So yeah, that is what it is. So why do you have this earring in your left ear?
So I had earrings. I mean, I'm from Goa, like I said. I used to be a DJ at the time of the hippie thing, you know, play at all the rave parties, the full moon parties, all of that stuff. They were very spiritual at that point. It was unlike today's parties where people just...
You've started your experiences since you were 14, 15 from those parties only?
No, I started the parties when I was probably 20.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started these experiences.
Was there an older friend that you have?
Oh yeah, most of my friends
you've heard
were
these
hippies.
Stories. Yeah. You've heard these stories growing up.
Yeah, I've heard these stories growing up, and it was always outdoor. It was always full moon, unlike club parties today where everyone's trying to be someone. These were very, very like spiritual parties. People were generally friendly and very concerned about everyone and stuff. So it was very different, and that's why I can't adapt to today's times of parties completely. It's not free anymore. So yeah, so I had earrings more from 19, you want to fit in, and you saw everyone wearing earrings, the foreigners and stuff, but I had bigger rings. And as I moved through, I work very closely with Sloan's in the US. We have a lot of patients and we work closely with doctors. That's when a doctor told me one day that, Luke, you know, you have a earring, but I want you to go and get a bigger earring and put it in your ear. I said, why? And she was Western. So she's saying, you have no idea about your own culture in India. There are reasons why men wear earrings and energy and all of that stuff. And so I just went ahead and got one and put it in. That's the only reason. I've not really thought about it further. Yeah.
So the gold earrings were worn because it stretches your earlobe lower. It works in two ways. In Chinese medicine, it works to create a better wealth for you because you stretch your earlobe, which they call that is a money bag here.
Okay.
But in Indian system, when they wear it, basically it is for better immunity, and it mentally helps you to be a better listener. It improves a planet called Mercury. But you're wearing a diamond, that also a princess cut, which reflects that you're a very selective listener. You could have worn it round, that's what people usually buy and wear, but you're a very selective listener. For you, you listen if people have, even if your team has guidance to give, but you exactly know that it's shit and I have to throw it out.
Yeah, that is me, absolutely.
Yeah, so for you, if it's making sense and it immediately fits into the bill, you listen, else your ears and your brain has no connection. People can keep saying and you don't listen. Even when it happens with a client, when a client is sharing a problem, you exactly know what the problem is. They might give you 20 different symptoms. You will not listen to them. You'll give them a solution based on what you know is what is correct. So yeah, it's helping you.
All right. And I had no idea. I just selected it because it looked fancy.
Because it's your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
There's no coincidence in life. Nature never works on coincidence. Two people never meet because just like that, there's no just like that. We can lose out on opportunities, that's okay. But everything that we do, everything that we have, nature has a purpose. There's no uselessness around.
Yeah.
So it is you. It is you who select it. It has to reflect you, what you are.
Oh, wow.
You're just decoding. And buy black clothes.
It's just easy for me because I have like 5 pairs of the same stuff. And it's just easy for me. I don't have to think about colors. I don't have to whatever. So specific. I would love wearing white as well. It's not like I don't like other colors.
But you don't wear white. Rarely.
I do sometimes, but rarely. You're right. I'm okay with it. This is just simple. It's just simple. There's no specific reason. I don't look into fashion and all of these things. And this is what I feel at that point. So it's easier to have like 5 or 6 pairs of this and just wear the same thing.
Yeah, but you could have chosen any color. Brown, beige, white.
Yeah.
You like yellow also, yellow.
Yeah, I do like yellow, yeah. But I have no specific reason, it's just easy, I guess.
Because you, as a person, you don't like opening up too much. For you, it's open, it's fun when you open up other people, their lives, their belief systems. You enjoy opening that Pandora box, decoding and understanding that what have I learned out of it? What is it that I am doing which is not correct, and what can I do to change and not get any experience like that? So for that decoding is very absorbing for you, and it is very important for you to understand that how people go wrong, and each time you go with a bigger client with a popular name, understand and recheck and evolve yourself. So you're extremely evolving person. So you see the whole logo of slow flow that you have. You could have chosen any way to write it, but SLL and FLL, two alphabets being like this, because you're in this whole motion of creating a system where you just work 3 hours a day, and the whole organization works in a static way where things are automatic. People are into your system of planning and dietary for longer time. It's a system where for years and years they follow, the system is updated. So it's like an AI creating system of your intelligence where it is controlled by you, but helpful in a longer run without you putting in hours of energy into consultation and bringing yourself out of it, and more of creative things that you want to do of wellness and collaborations and speeches and going out. But this hourly consultation is like,
that is true. I am working, that is a goal to work towards.
yeah,
because
so the slow flow will take you towards that.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yes,
I didn't create it knowing this, but yeah.
And why don't you wear a watch?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wear an Apple Watch usually. It's just that today, the last month I decided just not to have any gadgets on me, because I felt like all these data points and stuff doesn't allow me to be intuitive about how I really feel in the morning or my movement, because after a while you constantly look at your steps, you look at how you slept last night, you're dependent on a gadget. It is very helpful, but I felt it was getting a little too overwhelming. So I've just removed all of the Apple Watches, the whoops and stuff like that, and I've decided for at least 2-3 months I don't want to have anything. And I've never been comfortable wearing watches, never.
Because you don't like to be controlled.
Okay.
You don't like anyone ever telling you or checking on your schedule. You just feel uncomfortable that way. So you like yourself to be free out there and no questions asked. Hence,
yeah, that could be me. Yeah.
Hence, since 3 months, you just want to, what do you call that? Reboot yourself and see that what is my goal ahead. Up till now, whatever I've thought of has happened. What next? What is the big next step for me? And what do I do to have it? So this is a time for you to restructure everything in a new, fresh way. So you're back to zero.
Wow. Yeah, I just made that decision a few days ago, in fact, to stop, with all of these things for a bit. So I understand why now.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a little more fun with your book here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling through the chapter, and I really like this chapter of intimacy and deep conversations, which is you, which is just you. So what do you think in relationship, when people are married for several years and there is, it's like stale emotion, There's no spice, there's no excitement, there's no movement here. There's nothing to look forward to. Do you think that can be revived through a lifestyle change, through a behavioral change? Is it possible?
See, I will speak based on couples who have come to us, because when they come to us with diseases, we always go to the emotional part as well. So I think the human mindset believes that intimacy is only about sex.
Yeah.
Intimacy is only about being someone's friend. But as we've tried to go further and ask them, so what does it mean to you? Most women have said, we just want to be heard. For us, that's an intimate moment. Or sometimes we just want to be hugged, or we just wanted to hold our hands. And when I've asked the same question to men, guys, in relationships, out of divorce, not divorce and stuff, for men, of course, the first thing that comes is sex. That's important. But the second thing is they want to be understood for who they are. So I feel that intimacy, and the whole chapter is around really that powerful word of understanding, when we can gift understanding to someone. Because the one thing you learn in this profession, and I'm sure you've seen it in yours, is no one perfect, and everyone has a good side, a bad side, a dark side, a light side. But when you can extend the gift of understanding to people, I think that's what keeps it alive. Because if someone got married 10 years ago, they were very different 10 years ago. 5 years later, they're very different. We're constantly changing our emotions, our thoughts, what we want. So if you can express them to one another, if you can talk with, you could be understood. Most men are scared to express what they really want in life, and most women are as well. And right then, that breaks intimacy. So obviously the sex will become boring after a while. Going out and traveling will become boring. So Instagram will tell you find different ways to have sex, but it still doesn't cut it. It's just dopamine, serotonin, and then back to the same problem again. Although you can try that, that's great. But the point is, I've had men come up and say, Luke, I finally feel understood, and they just feel liberated. And I've had women come the same thing. He finally listened to me and now understands how I feel without assumption. So somewhere I deeply believe that humans, every human is looking to be understood for whatever, the right, the wrong, the good, the bad, but everyone's trying to change one another. So if you express this, how can you think that way immediately? And now the person will be, oh, if I ever think this again, I can't share that. And this is trickling down to children, and it's trickling down to teenagers. Oh, how could you even think about that? Via a teen girl coming and expressing that, hey, mom, I am in love with 2 guys. I don't know what to do. And mom, how could you be that? That's not the way I raised you. She's just cut away the gift of understanding. I mean, you can bring in action later. So I do believe that deep understanding is a very, very, very,
I believe that the beautiful word I would like to give for it is acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't get accepted. And I feel the anatomy of, and our, again, because you understand spirituality, Shiva and Shakti created a beautiful way to understand it. If you see, Shiva is a raised triangle like this. He's a triangle like this. You make a triangle, correct? Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So which means that the lower base, so the lower chakra's energy is always predominant in a man. So, so to have a stability, like no fear, to have sexual interaction or more of sexual movement, and to have more goal or more purpose, the lower 3 chakras are always going to be stronger in a man. Look at the woman thing, which is like a reverse triangle. The upper chakras are more stronger. So she's more intuitive. She'll just look at you and tell you what is your feeling behind it. She's more expressive. She'll yell, she'll say, she'll express, she'll cry. And then she needs more of heart. So for her, this is more. So for a man to be in love, the anatomy of man is all external. For him to be in love, it's very important for him to be physically around it. How good do I feel physically around with her? And for her, it is very important to feel, how does he make me feel? Yeah. It is very important. So as I was just talking to somebody in the previous podcast I was talking to about, I was telling her that psychology tells it so beautifully that for a man to keep him on with you, the feed happens through his eyes, because that's how he falls in love. For him, if you're always feeding to his eyes, you're always, that is why, in earlier times our mothers used to get dressed in the evening when fathers used to come back. The whole purpose was how well are you feeding through his eyes, that's his food. And for a woman it's ears, how well you're feeding to her ears. Wow. What are you saying, are you complimenting whether she's looking good or not? So that is where she gets feed from, that's where he gets feed from. If you're lacking in your feed, he'll always lack in your feed. So the purpose of the relationship or marriage was a barter deal. I mean, love, chuck it. If you love, you don't have to marry someone. But for the marriage, it was about I am bringing this on the table and you're bringing this on the table. For a man, it was more about children and convenient sex. And for a woman, it was more about security and comfort. Now, if you don't give him his part, he will not give you your part. And vice versa. So in our situation, as men and women grow, the man is evolving because he's earning, and the woman is not earning, she's raising the children. She said, my part was to bring children and comfort, and he says, my part was to bring security. But in between, the love, the emotion and the physical intimacy gets lost, because she's not feeding his eyes and he's not feeding her ears. So this disconnect is so huge. And all they try to do is that when they were children and the guy was playing and parents picked him up from the home and threw him in the school, and all he was trying to do was you give him a gadget or any toy, he opens a boy. He opens and then he scatters, and now he wants to fix it. But the damn things cannot be fixed once you've opened it. And for a girl, she likes toys and teddy bears. So she'll like your daughter. She would like the doll to have a schedule. Now you sleep, sheet. Now you get up, go to school, hold your bag, get ready, get dressed. All through her life, she's going to doll up her man. Now you'll sleep, don't put the towel there, get up, go there, go here. And all the poor man is doing it, everything is right, he'll do something, create a blunder, open the gadget, and now he's trying to fix it. Can't be fixed. Wow. So all through this life, they're just trying to play the games that they were stopped playing when they were growing up. And the partner becomes nothing but the object of pleasure, a toy. And they keep doing the same blunder that they were stopped doing because they were sent to school. So this is all our unlived past of huge emotional trauma and baggages that we carry. And it's so simple. You be a child again, you break what you want to break for as long as you want. You dominate something for as long as you want, and your relationship becomes okay. You don't become toys of each other.
Wow. How come these things don't get taught to people as they're moving into relationships? And I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it, but these are such, I mean, if we knew this years ago, you would look at it very differently. Like I say the same way, people knew how to live a better lifestyle maybe 10 years ago. They probably wouldn't be in the ICU right now. They wouldn't be, with a heart attack right now. So it's the same thing with relationships. I believe there's so much that can be.
That. You go to a church, you go to a mosque, you go to a temple. We were taught to do that. We don't go empty-handed. Either we put money, take flowers, take fruits. We do that every time. We say things or prayers that are nothing but just praises, right? And we go there with a lot of faith, expectation and trust. We were taught every day to be like this in our relationships. Never meet your loved one empty-handed. Never go and approach them without praising them, and have faith in the relationship. But we were just stuck to God. Forget what we have to do with the humans down there. Yeah. But the whole concept of praying and spirituality was the way you are there is the way you have to be here. Yeah. We miss the point always. Wow. Yeah. So we were taught. We do practice, but with the wrong energy. Yeah. He doesn't care. If you do praises to him or you don't, he doesn't care.
It's what you do.
But you were told to do that with everyone forever and always. You don't do that.
Yeah. Wow.
So you see in South India still, in old villages, when men come back home, they bring these flowers for the women. What is the point? Same woman, same here, same damn flower. But the excitement of bringing something home is the joy.
Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I'm going to do a little rapid fire with you, and then I'll also give you a gift which is meaningful for me. I hope you enjoy and use it. And because you got this beautiful book for me, which I'm going to enjoy tonight, my flight back. So I'm going to say a few words, and you're going to give me one substitute for it, which is more materialistic rather than spiritual. All right? Love.
Anything that comes to my mind?
Yeah, anything that comes to your mind.
It's the craziest thing that came to my mind. Flowers. I don't know why that came to my mind.
Beautiful. But maybe this is something you can start practicing now. Peace.
Peace. Just whiteness. Yeah. Whiteness.
Power.
Power. And I'm just thinking of like a nuclear reactor or something like that.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of power. Beauty.
I think the eyes. I don't know. It's just whenever it's eyes. It's the eyes for me. Yeah.
Okay. And anger.
Anger. Just redness everywhere. It's redness everywhere.
What does green mean to you?
Green means calm. Yeah. I'm not going to say broccoli and.
Yeah, because you have a lot of plants in your home.
Yeah.
It's like you're surrounded by plants all and all out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What does smoke means to you?
I can't put a word to it. I don't know. Smoke means, I don't know, like something's just moving away, dissipating. Dissipation, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like the idea of smoking now?
I've never, I mean, of course I've done joints and stuff here and there, but it's never been something that I chase. It's with a good sunset and a good friend, and that's it. It's never been something that I look forward to and need to do it again.
But that makes you despair.
If the stuff was good, maybe, yeah. But
I'm gonna edit that.
it was only no, it was just like the coolness of like, hey, you're meeting a friend after a long time, and it's never got me any joy or something like, hey, I'm looking forward to it. So I guess
home.
Maybe home. I just think of Goa. That's it.
Yeah. God.
God, it's an energy for me. I can feel it in most of my consults. Sometimes I want to redo a consult because I didn't feel that energy with me, and I feel like I need to redo it. So for me, it's more of an energy. Actually, it's grace. Somewhere over the last few years, my mind, or it just moves towards like, this is just grace.
Yeah.
So if it's like I wasn't on that flight, for me it's just not luck, it's just grace.
Yeah. I so believe in it. You know, my WhatsApp status says that if you run alone, it's called race. And when he runs with you, it's called grace.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think grace has become so
it's
evident in my life now.
And once you experience it, there's nothing over and above it. That's it. It's like, it's the peak and you want to rest there.
Yeah, it makes your gratitude exercises so much easier because you don't see it as things to be grateful for. You just start seeing everything as grace, like there's grace everywhere.
Yeah, and when you look at it, you know, I write this diary every day. It's like my whole thing of affirmation and what happened best with me today. For me, it's like I give task to the divinity, to God, that you have to look for every day to pamper me and find something surprises for me, and he has never failed me.
Oh, wow.
Each day he does this something exciting, which I'm like, wow, how could you even think of it? So that romanticism is so alive, because once you look for it, he likes to do it for you. When you don't look for it, nobody likes to be not noticed, even him. So then if you don't notice what he's doing, he's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel that too. If we don't notice grace, if we don't notice mercy, if we don't notice forgiveness that's been extended to us, I feel we can train our minds and hearts to look for these things.
I had, you answered all your questions beautifully well. So I have this small gift for you. Looking at your simplicity, I realized you would never want to put a fancy silver bottle next to you, but I wanted to do that.
But this is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah?
I absolutely love it.
I'm glad you liked it. And I'm so happy. And
thank you so much.
Very happy if you will use it.
No, I will. I will absolutely use this.
Yes, because I just resonated with you about this, and my daughter is 20 years old, as I told you. This is her brand called Siddhi. Wow. And I asked that I'm meeting Luke for the first time and I have to get him something. And she looked at your picture and said, well, I think he drinks a lot of water. So it makes sense. I said, yeah,
I
sure.
absolutely love it.
I'm so glad.
And I will be using
her
it. Thank you so much.
You liked it. My pleasure. What's your daughter's name?
Tiana.
Tiana. Yeah. Lovely. You must give my love to Tiana. And what does it mean?
I will. So it's a small village in Greece, but that's not the reason I selected that name or told the reason for that name to my wife. She's the daughter of one of my favorite rappers. So yeah,
wow. Okay.
and I just loved him, and his daughter's name was fascinating to me. So I said, hey, Tiana, and she said, what does it mean? I said, it's a Greek village. She said, sounds great, let's do it. But the main reason is, one of my favorite rapper's daughters.
Oh, wonderful. So lots of love to Tiana.
Thank
she
you.
makes you proud, like you are making her proud. And thank you so much for your time and your energy, both together.
Thank you for your energy and decoding all of this. I mean, I really am intrigued with how accurate everything is. So
I'm glad I had fun doing that, and whatever I could see. I'm sure many more tattoos here and there, but this worked well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Thank you.